Hi, my friends. Um, so you may see some comments under the last video about the four horsemen or something. Anyway, that's just this guy's, opinion, some book he's trying to sell or whatever. I'm not going to delete it because it might be valuable to other people to take a look at. My understanding lately that's helped me as a Christian is the Emanuel Swedenborg explanation of things, okay? So as we were just reading in chapter 7 about the 144,000, it's more of a symbolism of the church, the 12 tribes of Israel that were mentioned. It's a symbolism of the entire church. Those who come to understand goodness and truth in the Word will be the ones that are the ones that the Bible is referring to. It's the whole church, okay? So that's my understanding of it, and it just makes sense to me. It rings true with me, okay? That may not necessarily with you. You might want to go into it more literally and find out about what do the words mean, where did they get this from, was it the Aramaic, was it the Greek, was it what, was it from the Hebrew? And remember that the Masoretic Jews, or Hebrews, excuse me, changed the vowel points. So when the meticulous scribes and Pharisees, received their works, they were already mistakes in them, okay? Because they didn't want things pointed towards Christ being our Lord and Savior. They didn't. They tried everything they could to point it in a different direction. Okay, so I hope that clarifies that. That's I know the short and sweet of it. But if you want to know more, just look up the Swedenborg Foundation. Put in whatever you're asking about, whatever question, and you'll get an answer. Through the search engine portion of the Swedenborg Foundation. So very invaluable. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead with chapter 8. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Still on the mend and still trying to get better from this flu. And I need to go and change some vitamins, get something a little bit more tolerable to me. And then just keep the fluids going. You really got to push the fluids, and the vitamin C. Vitamin C is so important. Okay. If it can fight cancer, it can fight, a flu. Okay. There's other things that you could be using too. So natural stuff, ginger, lemon, broth, drink, cinnamon, and so forth. And apple cider vinegar has been helpful for me to dry me up at night so I can sleep and breathe better. Just a whole host of things. All right, so the seventh seal opened and the great plagues. So chapter 8 is talking about, and they opened the seventh seal, and there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God, and them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he could offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. The angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, cast it into the earth, and there were voices thunderings, lightnings, and earthquake. And the seventh angel, which had the seven trumpets, prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire and mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees were burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. The second angel sounded, as if it were a great mountain burning with fire, was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of the waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died in the waters because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound. Okay. Signs. All right. Chapter 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from the heaven and earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of the general furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither anything green, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and that their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shape of the locusts were like the horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates, and they had breastplates of iron. The sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and they were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. But they had a king over them, which was the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is in the Hebrew tongue Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath its name of Apollyon, who one woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before God, saying to the sixth angel, which had a trumpet, Loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosened, and which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat upon them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire, smoke, and brimstone. By these 3 was the third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and them that do hurt, and with them that do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, or of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their thefts. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as if it was of the sun, and the feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book opened, and he sat his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices, and when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven, and swore by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and all things therein, and earth and the things that are therein, and the sea and the things which are therein, and they should be time no longer. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, and he had declared to his servants the prophets. And the voice which I heard from heaven spoke unto me again, saying, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went to the angel, and I said to him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it, eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. So I took the little book out of the angel's hand, ate it up. It was in my mouth sweet as honey. As soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. And I'm going to stop there. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to leave in the comment section, please do so. And I will try to answer the best I can. Please do not be rude. I will just delete you. I don't have time for that. Mother always taught me, never say anything nice. I mean, always say something nice. If you can't, don't say anything at all. So anyway, so that's that. And I hope that you have a beautiful Thursday. And I will do some reading hopefully tomorrow. I have a few things I need to do medically. Yeah, so I should be able to do it. So at least a few chapters anyway. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Bye.